And that kind of gives me a good intro to our next person who's going to offer some comments, Alessandra Vitullo. I had the pleasure of kind of working with her when she came from Italy to Texas a number of years ago to study digital religion and work with me. And we've had a great kind of just friendship and collaboration over the years. And it's also been my privilege to kind of bring her on board as the new associate director of the Network for New Media, Religion, and Digital Culture Studies. And just a little teaser, watch this space. There's a new website coming soon. So without further ado, I turn it over to Alessandra Vitullo, who is, believe is professor of history of religions at University in Rome.
Thank you very much, Heidi. Can you hear me well? Everything's okay? So thank you very much, Heidi, for this introduction. And I'm very honored and glad to be here today because, as Heidi already anticipated, I met Heidi for the first time like almost 10 years ago, and also Wendy, when I was a PhD student and the digital religion scholarship in Italy was almost totally unexplored. No more than 5 books had been published on this topic in Italian language at that time. So during all these years of research work, I found myself struggling between 2 critical aspects of this investigation, which this book clearly highlights. The first one are the difficulties that the digital religion scholarship face to not be considered into the academia only as a fun fact in the field of religion study. Then the second aspect is the resistance that I found in the religious institutions in considering the internet as a genuine dimension for religious experience, especially in Italy, where the Catholic Church has always had a suspicious and cautious approach to the virtual dimension. But then COVID-19 suddenly happened. And as this book also remembers, the lockdown forced everyone to take seriously the phenomenon of religions online, precisely because the online was the only dimension available for carrying out all our social activities. I suppose that it is not a coincidence that the book of Heidi and Wendy comes out at the end, hopefully, of this tragic period, especially because, as the title indicates, this book wants to lay the basics for the study of a discipline which can no longer be considered as an area of specialization of the religious and social science. Indeed, as the very composition of the book highlights, studying digital religion today means dealing with the more general and crucial issue of sociology and religious study, as already Heidi anticipated, such as the theory of secularization, post-secularization, the frameworks about new spirituality or religiosity, so the so-called pick and mix the religion, and how these new settings challenge the elementary grammar of the religious institution, as already Wendy said, such as the concept of authority, authenticity, identity. As the author writes in the book, and here I'm quoting them, digital religion is a unique and distinct approach to the study of religion in digitally created and informed culture. It recognizes religion as an increasingly informed by the social structure and cultural practice of living in a technologically infused and information-driven society, where religion is lived out in an online and offline context simultaneously. On one side, this definition finally clarifies once and all the wrong conviction that digital religion is exclusively the study of religion on the web. And on the other side, this concept opens a wider reflection on a much more important question. Is still possible today for human science studying religions without considering the virtual presence? In this perspective, the research field of digital religion can certainly no longer represent a niche team, but rather becomes a research area fully entitled to the study of the transformation of the sacred in contemporary society. In this sense, the entire structure of the book systematically brings theory into practice, presenting case studies that allows the reader to touch with his or her hand the subject of the investigation. The systematic shift from the theoretical to the empirical framework stress out how digital religion today represents one of the most fertile and active fields of research where it's possible to grasp the change of contemporary religions. The several case studies presented in the book gave me at least two important insights about this aspect. The first one is related with the concept of convergent practice that already the other speaker mentioned, which is used by the author by readapting the Jenkins definition of convergent culture to define the recomposition of religion practices through the new tool, languages, and platform given by the web. And then the second one is the process of a contamination that religions undergo once they are online. This makes them more hybrid and sometimes customized by the prosumer. The authors underline how these processes represent some of the greatest challenges for the historical religions, which base their tradition on some core assets such as authority, unicity, and truth. However, it is precisely the existence of this practice that I would define as a smart religions or convergent religions, maybe, that probably allow the persistence of some religious practices today. The multi-site church case study offered by the book is a clear example of what I'm suggesting here. As probably the majority of us know, and also as Heidi and Wendy already explained, the multi-site churches typically transmit the sermon of or broadcast other aspects of the worship service from the main campus to other side via satellite or web streaming technologies. Well, in one of my research projects, I also had the opportunity to study the campuses of a multi-site church, which from Tennessee broadcasted streaming services to other sites located in Brussels and in Bangkok, so in two different continents. In this case, there is no doubt that without the appropriate digital technology, this internationally displaced community probably not only would not have existed, but the virtual dimension is the only dimension that they have to be a community. I want just to conclude this short commentary by pointing out that if it's true that the third space created by digital religions gives a more fluid form to religious practices, on the other hand, it could be also the most effective response to the crisis of the empty churches that we are experiencing, especially in Europe. In fact, belonging to a religious community, even if this only exists online, would certainly require a new formulation of the successful Grace Davis saying, believing without belonging. So thank you very much, Wendy and Heidi, for giving us this book and making us reflect at larger about the digital religion issue.